Bambi Francisco for this segment of Lessons for Entrepreneurs, and I'm speaking with Brian Singerman. He is a venture capitalist at the Founders Fund. He's also been an angel investor for 3 years and has worked at Google on some engineering stuff like iGoogle.
That's right.
Brian, thank you for joining us for this segment. Okay, so basically give us 3 pieces of advice for entrepreneurs watching this segment.
For entrepreneurs, I'd say, even if you think you have a crazy idea that hasn't been done before and it's not what everybody else is kind of doing, try it. Do it. The idea may not be that crazy, and it may turn, some of the craziest ideas, can turn out to be some of the biggest things. My next piece of advice is be willing to adapt to what your customers are saying. What I mean by that is you may have an idea for a business model and you kind of go towards that. You have a product, you're going towards that. If you see traction in a certain area that you thought, whoa, I didn't realize people were going to like that a whole lot, go with that and be willing to adapt, and you may find gems within your product that can be exploited for even bigger things.
Okay.
So those are my biggest pieces of advice.
Okay, so adapt and also think big or think out of the box. Or
think out of the box.
Yeah.
That's kind of more what I'm talking about.
Okay.
An entrepreneur who can think out of the box and just come up with cool stuff, something will eventually stick.
Now, you have been angel investing for 3 years, and you've also
about 4 years.
Yeah, and now you're working with the Founders Fund, so I'm sure you work with a lot of entrepreneurs and you see some sort of common mistakes. So is there anything you can pull out and share with us?
Choose a good team. You cannot underestimate the importance of your early team at a startup, and who you work with. Some people make the mistake of bringing on people with big names or have done big things, but if they don't click with them, if they don't have the good chemistry with them, the chemistry at a startup is so important. Even if the person if you're bringing on somebody who doesn't have a big name but is really smart and you click with them, then go for it, because you have no idea what's going to happen at a startup.
Right.
And so having somebody you have good chemistry with, that you click with, that's really smart, all about the team.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we have, here we're so small, and it's almost like you're married to everyone. Everyone's your brother and sister, and
you spend so much time with these people. Like, if you're doing a startup properly, you're going to be spending 24 hours a day with these people, right? Like, it's so important to have people that you're going to mesh with, that you enjoy working with.
Right. Now, do you think that have you watched like entrepreneurs have had problems like fundraising and make some common mistakes, or there things that they should, think about?
Sure. If you're fundraising, first of all, you want to be able to have answers for everything a VC is going to throw at you.
Yeah.
So you got to remember that.
Do you have a lot of entrepreneurs that have been just like, what, we didn't figure that out yet?
Absolutely. But so here's the thing, right? When you go and pitch a VC, it is a very interactive process. It is not. It's not going to be you making a, your slide pitch and then being quiet until the end, right? It is going to be a very interactive, rapid fire process. And so if you have an answer for something, fantastic, and you want to have answers for most things because you want to really understand your business. Sure. If you don't, it is much better to say, you know what, I need to figure that, I'm going to figure that out, and be confident about that. Like, we haven't exactly figured that out part yet, but here's the pieces we have in place to figure that out, as opposed to making up some answer that is totally unbelievable, because VCs see so many of these, they will read through that like.
What about if they have multiple business models? If they start saying, if VCs say, yeah, you could do this, and should you say like, yeah, actually we have that in the pipeline, or yeah, we're going to do that too? Being
too spread out too early is not a good thing, because then you're not going to be focused. What you need to do is, pick one, focus on it. If it doesn't work out, move on. I mean, there's nothing wrong with failing fast.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with changing business models. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's better than, having that go on for years and then not realizing you have something different. But try it. Really try, the thing. Really try the first thing that you're doing. Maybe fail fast. Maybe it takes off.
Do you want a big pitch book, like a big deck, or you want it short? You want it simple? How do you?
No, you're never going to get through a huge pitch deck.
So you want something really.
It needs to be to the point.
You don't have much
the
time.
major details, you just don't have much time when it comes down to it, because the majority of any session with a good venture capital firm is going to be on rapid fire questions.
Do you want somebody like, like look at like Twitter, they don't have a business model, but I'm sure they had to kind of understand a little things through it. But do you need to have a vision? Would you prefer somebody that says like, I've got it 5 years down the road, or just say like, look, we're just focused on adoption. We don't really think about business model. We're just thinking about the next 2 years.
I like it when somebody has an idea. I like hearing the part about like where this could lead, because it's good to have thought about the big question of how does this become a billion-dollar business is a very important one. How you're going to get there, who knows? But like to at least have some idea of how you're going to make this thing, and not even a real roadmap, but just have some idea of how a good story to tell on why this is a billion-dollar business.
Okay.
Like just having a believable story.
Not a $30 million business.
Not a $10 to $20 million whatever business. I mean, those are great and those will make you a lot of money. But in terms of venture funding, have an idea of how you're going to make a billion-dollar business.
But you may invest them as an angel.
Oh, absolutely.
Angel
like
so they should talk to you because you got your VC, put your VC hat or your angel hat on.
But in terms of venture capital, like just have a good idea of $1 billion.
Okay, think out of the box and adapt. Be flexible. Okay, great. Those are great points, great pieces of advice that I will definitely think about. Thank you, Brian.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your thoughts. I've been speaking with Brian Singerman. He is a venture capitalist at the Founders Fund. I'm Bambi Francisco.